Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Garo Vanishing Line, which is on episode 17. Now, this episode right here was pretty fun, not too bad, as I always say in my other videos anyway. But I think this episode right here makes me realize like how much I love Vanishing Line of Garo, the series, compared to the other one, which was pretty weak and strange in a way for me. And we had to it that of course Gina along with Sword and Zariba and Sophie are being hit or bombarded by attacks. Forgive me about the noise in the background. Someone's calling, but I don't really care about phone calls anyway. We have to it that they get attacked by Bishop and his pack of horrors, of course, and apparently they are really much having some trouble here and there. And it's not really looking good for the time being because of what's been going on and what's been happening right now. And we have to it that we also have to it that not many things are really happening right now, on what's been going on here and there. Well, aside from me rambling up, speaking out of line, sorry, it's just because there's been noise in my background and phone call, etc., which is really annoying. Like I said, Sword, Gina, Sophie, and Zariba are being attacked by Bishop and his gang of horrors, and of course Sword takes separate ways by taking on the multiple horrors himself, while Gina is holding off the horrors as best as she can with her driving skills, and Sophie commanding the gun. But apparently, before Sophie was about to be kidnapped, the second time, the first time Gina saved her from the Bishop, and the second time she gets saved by Luke. And Luke comes in to deal with multiple horrors, and they got out of the horror barrier. And we have to it that Sword arrives on time with Luke and Gina to take care of the boss, and Sophie ends up having to be taken care of by Zariba. Sophie was pretty upset to see to it that she's not able to do anything. All she could do is just be protected. And Zariba tells her not to cry over simple things like that because we just want to protect you because we want to. And you have to keep moving forward no matter how painful or how ugly the situation of life can be. That's what Garo stands for. And Sword represents that. And we had to it that Zariba tells Sophie to get on because of being chased down by a powerful soldier. And that is the Dark Knight himself, or the Dark Makai Knight himself. And of course, Zariba therefore gives his last words to Sophie by telling her, no matter what happens from here on out, you have to move forward, okay? And he ends up sacrificing himself by blowing himself up against the Dark Makai Knight, who was armorless, but armored up when he realizes that the explosion is much more dangerous than usual. And we had to it that Sword arrives on time along with Gina and Luke, and Sword picks up Zariba's piece, and therefore Zariba tells Sword it's been a fun ride, partner. Really, it's been really, really fun. And therefore this upsets Sword to see how he sacrifices himself to buy time to protect Sophie, and he merges with Zariba in his armor and becomes much more stronger, and clashes against the Dark Makai Knight for a bit, and therefore the Makai Knight is actually very happy to see to it that he can actually consider Sword his nemesis, and therefore he gives his words to Sword by saying, the next time we meet, it will be our last meeting, and you better be prepared because we're going to fight to the very death of our lives. And therefore it disappears with some transportation, and therefore Sword, Gina, and Luke can only look on or move on after Zariba's sacrifice, while Sophie mourns Zariba's death or sacrifice to protect her. And of course he remembers his last words by saying, keep moving forward no matter what, okay? And therefore Sophie cries in despair of seeing how Zariba just died sacrificing his life to protect her, to buy time. It was a nice episode, and this episode right here just really shows a lot of there's a lot of things that you can't really escape from, and this episode represents that. Sawyer was ready to give his life for Sophie to make sure no one harms her, along with Gina and Luke, and Zariba literally had to give up his life or blow himself up, like I said, sacrifice himself to buy time. Looks like to me there's going to be much more despair to come along the way. I don't know what kind of despair I'll be looking for, but it's really gonna hurt. Zaruba, we all know who Zaruba is, okay? I mean, those guys who've been watching any Garo series, either from live action or to the anime series, would know who Zaruba is. He was a cool guy to the very end. Possibly, we might see him again, possibly, but if he really gave his life in this episode, I gotta say it's one of the best sacrifices I ever seen in a certain series. But maybe that's me just overreacting to overhyping things like that. But yeah, aside from that, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toodaloo.